my Nerdmazing friends? So glad you're here because I got this awesome treat for you. Because this is my very first Marvel Select action figure from Diamond Select Toys, and I'm so glad that my very first one is of this Beta Ray Bill. So let's go ahead and unbox this awesome huge action figure here on Nerdmazing. So here's a huge Beta Ray Bill action figure from Marvel Select, and this packaging is big. I can barely film it all. You can see it just clipping just a little bit at the bottom. But in order to get this figure out and unboxed so we can check out the articulation, you notice that it is sealed like so to the art card. So I'm gonna have to rip this bad boy open, and yeah, give me 1 second and let me do that so I can get this figure ready to showcase the articulation. So here's a Beta Ray Bill action figure ready to check out the articulation. So let's go ahead and do that first. And we'll start with the head. Let's see about a nice 360 spin. And there's gonna be restrictions due to its helmet, the plume, hitting the backside like so. Let's try up and down motion. Some restriction there, and definitely restriction here, again hitting that back end because of the helmet. Let's try some tilting. Left and right, not too bad, not too bad. So pretty good there. All right, let's check out the arms. Can do a nice T motion, as you can see, but that's about as far as it can go. Let's see, try that 360 spin. And there's gonna be restrictions due to the armor, the shoulder armor here, as well as the cape, as you can see. It only goes back so far. Now here at the bicep, you can tell, there is gonna be some swivel. So you can see that the arm can nicely spin a good 360 there. Right here at the elbow. Let's see, it's a little bit sticky. It's got a kind of a locking mechanism in there. So locking joint, but it does bend in pretty well. Let me put that back. You can hear that clicking. But there is nice rotation right here, pretty smooth. The hands, wrist, very minor, going inward, but a little bit more going outwards. And the wrist can spin around like so. And that's gonna be for both his open hand and his closed fist, as you can tell. So they spin really nicely there. Can't go in too well, but they go back a little bit as well. So, all right. Well, let's see. Check out the upper torso. There is some rotation there, and I don't know about the middle, but there's gonna be restriction because you can see right here, this kind of has like almost like a suspender kind of a deal right there that connects to the belt, as well as these kind of clips that clip onto the shoulder and the cape right here. But it does restrict his mobility because you can only go so far. You don't want to pull too hard, otherwise you might break these potentially. So that's about it. Minor issues there, because you don't get a full rotation at the torso. But let's go ahead and check out the legs. Nice split, as you can see. Not a full split, but a pretty decent one. All right, let's check out the legs. Kick forward, not too bad, not full. There's gonna be definitely a restriction here at the back because hidden the cape. So that's about it, you're limited there. Let's check out to see if there's any rotation right there, the thigh. Minor rotation, as you can tell. All right, let's check out the knees. It's got a locking mechanism, a locking joint right there. You can hear the clicking sound, but they go back really nicely. Let's see, ooh, right there, the calf area, spin around really nicely, very smooth. There's actually a really nice articulation right here. So right under the calf, spins really well. That's for the feet. They point down, they point up. And let's see if we got any rocking. A little bit of rocking, yes, for both, on both sides, so not too bad there. So that looks to be about all the articulation that this figure has. There are limitations, but not too bad, so you'll be able to achieve some poses, potentially. All right, let's check out some of the accessories. Here's the Stormbreaker, really nice. Got the strapping, very nice piece. And these, his accessories, this one as well as that one, they only do go into this hand, obviously, because this one, you can't put anything in it because it's open. And then here is his other accessory, the big spinning portion of Stormbreaker. This being the outer side, and this being the side where this will insert right in here into his fist. Like so. All right, very nice. So, let's go ahead and check out the size of this figure. This giant figure of Beta Ray Bill from Diamond Select Toys is stated to be 8.5 inches tall, or 21.6 centimeters. Now putting the ruler up to Beta Ray Bill here, he is actually a whopping 10 inches tall from his feet to his helmet plume. Here is Beta Ray Bill next to some Marvel Legends action figures to give you a sense of how he would fit in your Marvel collection. I don't know about you, but I am ready to put this big old beefy action figure of Beta Ray Bill on the spinner now to find out what amazing action figure poses we can achieve with him. I have to say, I'm very excited to go over the awesome details of this huge Beta Ray Bill action figure right here. Starting with the head sculpt, you have this superb equine sculpt of Beta Ray Bill that feels like he's shouting out his battle cry before striking down evil. Then you have his iconic winged helmet that he wears as the God of Thunder. Now normally it's just a winged helmet, but this version has an awesome red plume coming from it. I love the coloring that they've done from it, from dark to bright red. You also have the same red scheme on his amazing cape too. I am super impressed with its sculpt on how the cape drapes down and folds dynamically behind him. Then you have his body armor that befits of being a worthiness that can lift Stormbreaker. Plus you can also see some of the cybernetic parts that can make up Beta Ray Bill's body. You also have his amazing armored boots in all gold. I honestly like these as I think they would be very cool to wear on my Ren Fair costume. And for now, the best part, Stormbreaker. It is definitely a wonderful piece in the same gold color, just like parts of his armor. The weapon shape looks just like the comics. It is awesome that it has a strapping at the end for him to swing Stormbreaker around. Speaking of swinging Stormbreaker around, how awesome is the alternative swing action version of Stormbreaker? I can just feel the speed of this weapon spinning round and round with the circular swoosh effect and the weapon's visibility. Love how they show Stormbreaker in various states of visibility to portray the blinding spinning speed, from a translucent version to a fuller painted piece. So here's some interesting info about Beta Ray Bill. He is actually a Corbinite, a humanoid alien race from the Burning Galaxy, which they had to flee their galaxy, which was destroyed by Sultar, the fire demon from the Thor comics and movies. Now Beta Ray Bill is the surviving Corbinite's champion. He was transferred into a horse-like cybernetic body that was genetically engineered and given cyborg implants to give him increased superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability, and extended life. Now the Corbinite ship was passing over Earth when it was detected by S.H.I.E.L.D. and they asked Thor to investigate it. The ship scanned Thor and declared him as an enemy, and thus the ship activated Beta Ray Bill. These two titans of strength fought each other, and during the battle, Bill fought Thor to a standstill. Thor during this time also loses his hold on Mjolnir, which causes Thor to revert to his human persona. At this time, Beta Ray picks up the hammer and is found worthy to wield it. Now Beta Ray Bill's weapon isn't Mjolnir, but you actually see it's Stormbreaker. This was gifted by Odin to him after Odin made him and Thor fight each other to the death. In short, these two knock each other out unconscious, but Beta Ray Bill wakes up first. Odin declares him the victor and grants him Mjolnir. Bill takes the hammer to help protect his people, but feels guilty in doing so because he knows it doesn't belong to him, but to Thor. So Odin instead has the dwarves make Stormbreaker for him. Well, that's just a quick of it when it comes to Beta Ray Bill, but there's a lot more details out there for you. Now let's take a quick look at some of the highlights of this Marvel Select Beta Ray Bill's packaging. So what are some of the packaging highlights of this Beta Ray Bill Marvel Select action figure from Diamond Select Toys? First and foremost, you get a sweet view of this big action figure behind the clear plastic shell at the very front with its name at the side. As the packaging spins around, then we come to this Nerdmazing comic book illustration of Beta Ray Bill ready for battle with Stormbreaker in hand. Now let's move over to my pros and cons opinions over this Marvel Select Beta Ray Bill action figure. The pros. The action figure size. The sheer size of this action figure with its sculpt details is going to make it stand out in anyone's Marvel comic action figure collection for sure. The paint job. This has to be one of the nicest out-of-the-box paint job on a Marvel comic figure I've seen in a while. Especially the color gradation on the cape, helmet plume, and the Stormbreaker spinning accessory. Stormbreaker. The one in hand is nice, but the spinning Stormbreaker piece is one of the best weapon accessories for an action figure I've seen in a long time. Truly nerdmazing. The cons. Limited poses. Due to the clothing and less points of articulation, you are limited to the types of poses you can achieve with old Beta Ray Bill here. I do wish I could have gotten his arms up higher or even able to turn his torso more. The elbow joint, specifically the one elbow joint holding the spinning Stormbreaker. I noticed if I placed the arm in a lower position and the elbow as well with the spinning weapon, it could cause the elbow joint to move downwards due to the accessory's weight. I have to admit, it was such a blast showcasing my very first Marvel Select action figure with you all. And in fact, I even love it more that it's actually a Beta Ray Bill. Such an amazing, iconic character. So are you ready to check out more Marvel action figures like these? Or maybe something like this is more your style? Well, thanks for joining me here at Nerdmazing. And as always, be passionate in what you do, share your passion with others, and be kind to one another, as this world can always use more goodness in it. This is Adam with Nerdmazing, and I'll see you next time.